early on in the communication with the client when you're first meeting him, and you find out what happened to him and find out what it is that brought them to you for help. One of the conversations that you have to have with the client is the potential impact of insurance in terms of what their recovery might be. And unfortunately, a lot of times folks are surprised and sometimes disappointed to learn that, one, not every driver out on the road has insurance, and a lot of the drivers out on the road, even if they have insurance, they don't have the right kind of insurance or enough of the right kind of insurance. And a lot of times I get asked by my clients, well, aren't we required to have insurance? And the answer is, well, yes, the law does require you to carry insurance in order to be able to drive, but it doesn't require you to have the kind of insurance that's going to pay if someone gets physically hurt because of your careless driving. And so one of the first things that we need to figure out in terms of assessing a client's case is what are the insurances that are available and are the right kinds of insurance there. Bodily injury coverage is what it's generally called in the insurance business. And so if the individual that hits you wasn't responsible enough to have bodily injury coverage, or wasn't responsible enough to have enough bodily injury coverage to cover your harms in injuries, then if you don't have what's called uninsured motorist protection, which is actually insurance that you pay for to protect yourself, you might be very disappointed in your ability to get justice in terms of a financial recovery from the person that hit you and hurt you because of inadequate insurance coverage. And so one of the things that I see as my job, either talking to clients or talking to friends, is to explain the importance of having uninsured motorist coverage. And a lot of times people will say, well, I've got full coverage. I'm taken care of. I got full coverage. And that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But when it comes to uninsured motorist coverage, it's a particular kind of auto insurance that covers you if someone runs a red light and does something that hurts you or folks in your car. It provides a pot of insurance money to pay for your harms and your injury if the folks or the person that hits you doesn't have adequate insurance or any insurance at all. And so one of the things that's critically important is to talk to your insurance agent and to buy as much uninsured motorist coverage as you can afford, because it's really your best bet to try to avoid being in a situation where you're in an automobile crash and the person that hit you, to add insults to injury, doesn't have the right kind of insurance. And so sometimes it's difficult to make a full recovery if you don't have that kind of insurance. Folks will say, well, I've got health insurance, and so that should cover me should I be in an accident. And while it's true that health insurance should be there to pay for medical bills, that health insurance isn't going to be there to pay for your lost time from work. It's not going to be there to pay for your human damages, your pain and suffering and disfigurement, a loss of the capacity for the enjoyment of life, the intangible or human damages, which a lot of times is the vast majority of a claim that you're entitled to be compensated for. And so while you might have health insurance or even disability insurance, that kind of insurance isn't going to be there to pay for your human damages.